Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia. Our navy is about to engage in a fleet of 2 Sicilies, and it's possible more will be expected. In fact, they are heading this way now. We're being mobilized here. Come on, get everybody on board. You first. We're sending you over very quickly. And then in a day, and then on the next. Very good. Every 2 days. And another 2 days, the naval battle will begin. I'll explain to you what war did you get yourself involved in. Come on, get in here. Move. One, two. You're up next. Check you back in 2 days. You're up too. Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Change course. Karamaniza will be assisting us. Ship sunk. 2 more days. Oh, they sent everybody over here. Last one. Come on in. So everybody will be assembled here, but we just don't have the morale to take them on in combat. Carmen assist us. We have captured 2 galleys. That's added to our fleet, yes. We sunk a good portion of their ships. Unfortunately, their army has crossed, so that means all 42,000 of them are here now. And they will arrive, but they're to be stationed there for a few months before we can engage them in combat. Now, what the hell is this war about? It's the Karamanese conquest against the Ottomans. The Ottomans' last stand in Anatolia. They'll focus on the Eastern Front. We'll focus on the Southern Italian Front. We don't have any claims there, but I can tell you this. This will delay our plans ultimately to head to North Africa. We will begin our North African campaign. Yeah, just go for one more trade idea for this one for now. Added more trade efficiency, adding more to its income. Nobody move. If they try to do anything stupid, they'll regret it. You know, some of our heavy ships took a bit of knocks. But, Beck, you do the blockade for a while. We'll come help you soon. Begin your march now. We'll meet them in battle soon. And that's another reason why we propose a North African campaign. To stop Tunis with their piracy against us, once and for all. Hmm. Let them go where they want to go. But they're sending more and more reinforcements this way. Which is why it would be imperative to stop them. We'll set sail soon. Blockade them. Don't let them go anywhere. But it seems they're going to be going up to Ferrara. I think it would be wise to fight them here. But I don't think it'll be wise to fight up in these mountains. Just try to run parallel with them. But we'll be engaging here in these mountains soon, but I don't think it'll be most wise. Wait for the others. We can kill them together with our full reinforcements. Well, their big army will already be left. What we're gonna do is just cut off some of their reinforcements. Just like that. Should do. Split. No, no, no. Keep. Not like that. This way. One at a time. Out of the way. All we gotta do is just follow them and kill off their army. Blocked by hostile fort. Ah, that's why. It's this area here. It's an old castle. And we got a high fort. You know what? I don't think it hurts much. Let's go take the area instead. That's why they keep asking us. Never mind then. I understand what you meant. In that case, help him out. Just help him with the siege. I'm sure ours will hold, because we have a star fort. We'll take their capital faster before they can. This means it's going to give the opportunity for them to roam free. Damn. $35. Keep that well in mind. They've already breached the walls up there. Alright. Now we have free reign. Let's go. They got nowhere to run. I'm sure you've already captured all these areas. Yes, sir. So this should be the end of Ottoman presence. But I'm well aware we have enemies on our end, but no, I'm committed to take out two Sicilies because they got a big army and a pretty good navy that I would have had. At least to those standards, whereas obviously we have the naval superiority of the Mediterranean. Unless the Franco-Spanish alliance have to say something about that. Let's get moving. They're already running off, but be careful. Stop moving. Now you may go. They have mostly infantry, good number of artillery, bunch of artillery. What kind of army doctrine are they running there? We fought them many times. We've beaten them many times, but see what they could do. Killed them all. Battlefield medic. It's good to know. Distribute these forces. Remember, it's Karaman that calls the shots. Mushasha out. You only get 15 ducats out of that amount. 2 Sicilies out already. No gains. But we get a bunch of that for amount. Well done. Well. Get back to your transports and be sent home. It'll be over a lot sooner. But our war's already over. You're in. One of our cloth suppliers has been found supplying substandard cloth for our army uniforms. We understand that the troops are not impressed. Damn them! For only 2 years anyhow. Ajam, out. Said to Akonulu and pillaged. Well, you are an imamate kingdom, but hopefully you'll become a sultanate. We only think of the best wishes for you. Get everybody home. I have an idea. Got a new post. You're going to Malta. You'll be stationed there in preparations of it, knowing they don't have much of an army. But slowly reinforce bit by bit. As far as supply limit's concerned, we can have at least 2 armies stationed in Malta. if you wish to develop it more. Which again, we plan on using North Africa as a colony, a territorial colony for Croatia. Form a trade company over there, which would be the Barbary Coast Charter. Even though we have no trade power there, but we will change that when we establish a presence there. So now it's entirely possible I will make this area into a state. So that way I can use the edict to encourage a little bit of development. I'd like to see it go up to 20. Make it an important area, which would be a gateway to there. As stated before, our war is already over. So how about 2 armies stationed in Malta in preparation? You'll be the other. Off you go. Yeah, why not? There. Made it official. So how much is that now? 31. And plus with a lowered autonomy, it adds a bit of trade power there, even though, as we say, Croatian pirates. Well, of course, it's these guys that we got to deal with sooner or later. An example to us all. As the army is starting to join the fruits of our increased favor, many young officers are looking for opportunities to distinguish themselves. One captain stands out. One captain in particular stands out. He even cuts a striking figure. Excellent. Grand Captain. Interesting. This is the man. Yeah, it's only $1 cheaper. Monthly. Yeah, don't worry about that. So here's the deal. We already have claims on Tripoli, Zuwara here, Thubak there, but we can't get cert, not bordered of season wise. But it is part of Tripolitania. So capturing Tripolitania will be an important start. But we would also like to have the Djerba, because that area, coastal center of trade. In fact, that's the only way in there. Not to mention castle. I know the development of the land may not look like much, but Tripoli has something that really is very good. But Tunis would also be great to have. So your main priority is control the coast. All the coast all the way up to Bizerte. And they've developed pretty good in here. They've done well for themselves. But I believe it's our time to establish a presence in Tunis, controlling the coastal centers of trade there, and especially there. Even though we'll not make it a world port, obviously, but this was where ancient Carthage used to be back then. Feels like they yearn for the old days. Except all that pirating against us. But having a Croatian North Africa would be very good. Would be bordered with the Mamluks and be bordered with our new enemy, Spain. Even though we've eased a little bit in relations, but we're still going to be more enemies nonetheless. They have not reached the max of religious ideas, so they're not interested in claiming parts of Tunis, so which means this is going to be our area. Just control the coast and you will dominate the trade here. Dominate the Tunis trade node. So in time, when we get another merchant, I will send one here. Whatever territories you gain, you have my blessing. Even though I had claims there, but I'll let it expire on you. The Karamanese are too good. They've been a good lot. %, 95. It's gonna end very soon. Justify my war. Our enemies have always grown about our demands, not quite believe they are truly justified. With our new effective diplomatic corps, whose administrative ability we deeply believe in, should be able to justify our wars and demands. So it's for 10 years. Slightly less than on the aggressive expansion impact. Just in time for the plan to go to Africa. 99% war score. No guy is out. And thank you very little. And you're welcome even less. Yeah, why not? Almost done with quality anyhow. And so we will have this leveled up and then save it up for finish this idea, and we will have discipline and more discipline. Well, there goes the influence. They're not as influential as there once was. Actually have a good idea of how we're going to start that invasion of North Africa. Land our troops in Benghazi by sending our troops to be stationed there, and then we'll begin the march to capture all these territories and beat back any army that you see out there. Yes, I can see that. My goodness, where does all this income come from? Oh wait, that's from the, oh, one part of that is war reparations. Just give me another merchant. A little more innovativeness, then maybe we can start promoting mercantilism, which I never really bothered. And don't forget the papal influence that you gain each time of these controlled cardinals that we have. And plus, since we're very close to 3,000, I also would like to improve a little more of the Hagia Sophia. Because you see this? Yearly papal influence gain. And the clergy will remain loyal. So much so. Well, I'm not spending any money big time yet, so might as well. As much as I would like to upgrade all these buildings, but give it time. Until 1702. We can actually get it done a little faster. Yes. 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 One more. I'll stop right there. There goes half of our manpower. I could spend a little more money, but no rush. Let's make our fortunes again. You two could fit there. But in preparation of the, you cannot drill now. Oh! Well, it's time for you to start drilling. Yeah, we'll just drill on here. Just for you to get ready for that part of the campaign. And in the meantime, back to normal duty. There'll be no pirates in our shores ever again. Only 60% trade power. But I'm thinking about sending them to Alexandria as, you know, so we already got such great wealth from all these areas. So how about we increase it? Send it. Because we want to enrich ourselves. Until that time comes to form a trade company in Tunis. Look at that! That's how you make your money back. Although I also learned if I wanted to, you know, that dominate trade thing, I could move my main trade city to Zarigrad, for example. As you would have that trade power up there, right there. And that local trade power for the home trade node would be that. And the local development cost of, for all of these, you know, Bulgaria especially, poor Bulgaria, can be developed even more. But they say own 5 provinces across 3 company regions that are not in the same continent as my capital. In other words, I can see it now. That's why I've been interested in Africa. If we want to expand overseas, 5 provinces and 3 different trade companies. Here's one here. And if we go further down, maybe. Just maybe. Or even turn Crimea, or a certain area of it. I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought. Not in the same continent. Europe, namely. Well, what is Europe? Do they mean like that? Well, maybe Circassia. We could turn it back into a territory instead of a state. Because they say it's technically part of Persia. Therefore... No, it says continent. You see? Anatolia is considered part of Europe. This is Asia. Okay, understand. These are colonial trade regions. May never know. Maybe of some interest. Well, all these great projects out there now that I really thought about. We have one there. There's that. Oh, that's what this is for. Never really bothered to take a look at those until now. Hmm? Wow. And who's the owner? Morocco. Owned by Portuguese. Portuguese, California. So technically that area is useless. Owned by Mayans. Owned by Aztecs still. Wow, all the way to the max. Let me guess, Machu Picchu. Yep. Never heard of that area, honestly. Oh. Yeah. These as well. Owned by Portugal. Samarkand's got one? Oh, yeah. Useless unless you're a Zoroastrian. Which I don't think they exist anymore. Nope, they're still there. Yeah. In Yezd. Where even a significant minority of Zoroastrians still live in Yezd today. Okay, that's all I need to know. It's over. Yep. All that Carmenes. Now it's just two little enclaves that are now part of that. And we got some favors out of you, as if I really need it. While we're trying to build a spy network about as much as we can. And hopefully we've got to beat Spain to it, because they're about to finish their religious idea. If they finish the religious idea, they will have a holy war casus belli against Tunis. That's why I kind of want to beat them to it. Yeah, we'll let these claims go away. Would be for this. That administrative efficiency helps. So it's gained from high levels of administrative technology. It is the measure of how effective a nation is integrating foreign provinces, reducing the overextension impact and the core creation costs of non-core provinces, making it cheaper to conquer lands in wars. However, it will also increase the administrative burden on my colonial nations, increasing their liberty design. Obviously. As we stated before, that's why we decided to go Africa, not America. America is off limits. It's claimed by Spain. If we try to sell it, we would upset a relationship with both Spain and the Papal State, making it, as well as making it harder for us to attract settlers. As I said, off limits. And yet nobody bothered to take this area. Like, if I just wanted to, you know, do that for no reason, and yeah, it'll hurt the stability and all that. Yeah, that would be a pretext to a naval invasion there. Which we would deploy from Malta, send it down there, and invade that area, even though you're going to have to hold your ground at all costs. And then we would establish our presence there. But hey, nobody claimed these areas. I mean, they're still around. They still own that part of the coast. I mean, obviously, as we stated, there's all the residents. Plus, what is the trade value of that area? 10. Well, it all funnels that way. The most valuable trade node in the world. But we decided to go somewhere else. But I don't have any real desire to go to America. Still, it's just I'm looking at it from a practical point of view. There's still Congo. Spain, Wasteland, Netherlands, Portugal. Well, you got three great powers of India. Jaunpur, Malwa, and Vijayanagar. I see. Tunis first, alright? This is just to end the pirate threat, once and for all. Well, we're not attacking it until we get enough claims as possible until they finally detect our spy. And then we'll launch the invasion. While we will be making a huge amount of income through trade. In fact, it's gotten to the point that we're making almost about as much money through trade as anything else. That's why you gotta go for trade ideas. For every aspiring, growing empire, that makes a lot of fortune. Just this once. So. Yeah, one. Okay, next year. No more spending on it. Start saving up on investing to build more buildings. Especially upgradable buildings, such as these two. Well, these four, I should say. Hey, you got any money? No, you don't. How about you, Kamala? They don't either. But again, once I invade Tunis, I have to tell Karaman to break their alliance with them. And I'm not going to let my allies join this war. This is something I would have to do on my own. I'll get more rewards that way. But we will ask the Mamluks for access. Influence decisions. It's been brought to your attention that a certain member of our parliament has been accepting bribes from several different sources for influencing all kinds of national decisions. That can't be true. Root it out quickly. So forget about Anatolian. Stop! Good job. Now, see if we could get at least one more claim for Tatooine. It's part of the job, not getting this. Building a sugar plantation. Yep, we're definitely going for that. There is value in that land. I see. Should I not? I mean, upgrading those ships to frigates, to heavy frigates, I should say. It actually adds a little more trade power to it. Adds even more to the colonial range and global settler increase. As we said about that colonial talk, this is what that's going to be for. Expansion. Because apparently there is still some empty land that can be colonized for Croatia. And then maybe go expand further downwards and try to get all that. But however, that would cause, you know, that governing capacity. That we won't be able to hold all that. Unless we're going to go that way and follow these and establish Croatian East Africa. And, you know, what that trade value brings. You never know, that would be spending the next century all about then and forget about all that. Expansion of Italy is no longer an option. Should be drilling. What are y'all doing? In the meantime. Well, actually, this is to get you over here. And to send you on patrol. Protect the Malta trade node, so to make sure the pirates don't raid Malta. As much as I would like to get another merchant and send it, but you're ahead of time by 3 years. Yeah, one more. Slavage Babonich. Where would I send you to? You're not going to get much out of Crimea. But there is some in Aleppo. Temporarily, I'm going to put you in Aleppo. In fact, Tunis is much more valuable than Aleppo. This isn't much. Samarkand's way more valuable, but we have no trade power over there. Even if I were to send you there, it's going to be a very long way to send you all the way over there, but I doubt we're going to get much out of this. Because you lack the trade power for it. To bring it forward. Send it. See how this goes. I said temporary before we send a merchant to Tunis when we establish our presence there. Every little bit helps. But most of that money is now currently being spent to get rid of the corruption. Well, yeah, since I ended that alliance with England, but I'm still currying favors with you. Yeah, why do I even bother? Cut that out. Look up the other countries based on relations. Everybody's good. Oh dear, they just finished their religious idea. They're gonna be looking at this next, so we might declare that war sooner. Next year, I would add. And by the end of this year, the subgrade will be finished and we'll get a little bit more yearly papal influence, and who knows how much this is gonna cost for this next level. It's a good thing I did not mothball those forts. Mind if I ask you for access? Our country is going through an extensive social reorganization. Aristocratic lands are hugely being reduced, and promises been made to lessen dependence burden. A consequence of the liberation of the serfs, who compose a large part of our population, is a hostile reaction of the nobles of the realm. Oh, I'll take that hit, because I would go with the reforms. Every little bit of development helps. Go for it. Not to mention it helps with the trade power. What else would I build here to help with them? Oh yeah, you never had a shipyard there since every time you had a habit of, you know. Perhaps that instead. Oh wait, that's an upgrade from Courthouse. You know what? That's an idea. If I were to develop Malta a little more, forget about, you know, whatever you had in mind. The next building you should be building is coastal defenses. This is what we mean by Malta as being a militarized island of sorts. with the exception of the soldiers' households, which is for the fish here. Anybody that tries to invade Malta are in for quite a resistance, basically. Anyways. Although you did say you want to invest in a little more of these stock exchanges. That's some that are need to be upgraded, right? You got them. The ones that have not been built in the rigorous trade node, every little bit helps. Every little bit of that area gotta contribute. Excuse me. Oh. Here's something that helps. This is why you ought to give me the money, if you got him. Fact. Best guess. Including Spain. I want to know. Need to know basis. Internal conflicts over in Korea. Hopefully Spain gets involved in some other war, like whatever France is up to. But they're fighting in some other area in a faraway land. Disagreeing advisor. Nikola Iluchki, our natural scientist, has been a faithful servant so far. But now he seems to let his problems get to his head and become insolent. He dares to announce that a great prince's policies and recently did so in public in front of foreign ambassadors. Even there might be some grounds for these criticisms, but shouldn't let open disparagement of the great prince become a habit. It was a good point. Every little bit helps, and look, more towards administrative efficiency when we expand. We'll get our prestige by winning this upcoming war and the battles that will come. You can't just drop off bit by bit. You would have to ask for fleet basing rights. So each month they charge us a fee of 2 ducats. If they acquire more ports, this cost may go up. Oh yeah, big time. All these ports as well. Yeah, that's... I guess I would just rather do it the old way. That's troops will have to be stationed there. It's like, yes, ships will be there, but they're gonna have to do an amphibious landing. Just put it here. And then we'll begin. This upgrade's finished. Let me guess, 3,000. 5,000! Just to have more of this. But every little bit helps each year. And I will keep hitting sanctioned commercial monopoly more, and more. Convert a few developed provinces if you have to. Which unfortunately we're starting to run out of these. But your income's very good right now, so you have little time to waste. Even though we will make this territorial course, but you cannot convert territories unless they are states. That's how the law of the land works. Tell our income is like at 70. That's when I will use standardized uniform decision. Keep that well in mind. You have the money yet? Yes, you do. Excellent. Build more stock exchanges all over the country that belongs to Ragusa trade node. We just want to jump it up a bit more. Every little bit helps. That's what I want to invest more on. But our income is so great. And if our trade power does go up by a good portion, then maybe there is hope. But I got my eye on Spain. If it says declares war against Tunis, I will declare war on Tunis. Hey, what does the rest of Central Africa like? Do you know? And how much am I willing to pay to share maps? No. Of course not. Obviously, they don't know us very well. Share maps to them is probably what they mean. But I'd rather have somebody... England! You'll have some degree of presence. Oh, colonize, of course. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna be an aspiring colonizer too. To a degree. Boy, I miss the gold rushes from Kosovo. We were just relying on the land's gold, but now we're starting to think that's not going to be much of the case anymore. And so we had to turn this elsewhere, knowing if we expand further deep into Italy, that some of the countries will be very mad at us and form an anti-Croatian coalition. So we have no choice but to go to Africa. So we were forced to by hand. Honestly. Not to mention, there's some development there that I would like to go. But it's entirely possible that I may have to, if we have time still, as long as Spain doesn't do anything, I may put one more claim on Tunis itself, the most developed province of the country. Which is in fact our capital, you know? Home of the trade node. Well, with a definite visor, There's this supposedly talented man there. But reduces the land maintenance modifier, which will add a little more income, so might as well. Look at that! Ever since the old advisor kicked the bucket, which we had to pay him a lot. Think of how much we could make out of this by forming a trade company down there. We're having 90 a month if it weren't for these missionaries. As well as mothballing the transport fleet, but no, we're keeping them ready because of our plan. But it's highly possible we may have to start the war sooner before we even fabricate one last claim on Tunis itself. Really? You and what army? Oh, you're taking advantage of them. I see. Almost there. Here it is. Do spend it. But save up the administrative tech to core these gains that you'll be making. You're going to need a lot of them. Governing capacity counting house. Aha. Can't wait for that in the future. Development efficiency. It's like I can understand this, but where would I read development efficiency? But who knows? And I'm sure once we get down there, you may never know we'll have Tunisian as an accepted culture. Keep forgetting about the Turkish though. Because if you have them as accepted culture, you'll be making a lot more fortune there. A lot of manpower and sailors are going to be coming from there. It would help you in the long run. But upgrading this to the max would be very beneficial for Croatia. There's some. Another Anatolian claim that we don't need anymore. French declare war against Arapaho. That's a native tribe. Okay, they're going with them. Okay, good. That'll get Spain off our backs. So it's open season for them. But are the Mamluks interested in Tunis? You're allied with Tunis too. What the hell? I gotta tell you two to break the alliance with them. I gotta tell you two to stop doing that. Because the last thing I want is to be fighting against you, but I understand you're allying with them because of Spain. But still. You know, just for future reference. "10 years! We don't got 10 years. So if I were to tell them that, if I do that, they'll join. And no, they're not backing off on that attitude towards enemies. I see. That's all I gotta say to you. Allied to the enemy, does not matter. You got a truce with them? It's alright. I understand. How long does your truce last? 5 years. That will not suffice. Unless something happens between the Cameroonese and Tunisian relations. But until then, get one more claim out of them and put it on Tunis if we can. Now that Spain's off to somewhere else. You always call me into the worst of times. Venice? Now you got me interested. And you know Venice is going to be eager for revenge for taking their areas. Okay, you've convinced me. But Austria won't protect them. They've got their hands full. Okay, we'll be there. Head to Venice. Proceed with caution. Just knock Venice out of the war. Don't take their land. Hopefully not, because we don't have any claims to it. But it's the Commonwealth that calls the shots. Which again, it's a land war. They don't have any ships anymore. And try not to make a mess of it. We're just only gonna knock Venice out of the war. And that's it. That's going to be it for our participation. And there'll be no more delays. And we'll be going into Tunis with or without fighting against Karaman. I will not take any territory from you. Just say that this whole thing was a misunderstanding, okay? Whatever that's gonna happen between us. Well, if that's what you wanted. Didn't have to be this way. But we'll talk again in the future. Oh, hell. Wait until their morale's full. And then we'll engage them. Well, we're gonna need a little more. I didn't think they would all be coming down here. The more they gather, the more trouble there's gonna be. I think they're trying to go that way. Follow us. We'll engage them somewhere. go. Ah. We got you covered. I want to catch him. So what's that trade power like now? Little change. Makes little difference. It's Genoa. That's your reason. Mm-hmm. To be fair. Shoot. We found them already. Well, let's fight this war, and we will begin the North African campaign. Which means we'll send 2 armies there and another 2 to fight off the Caramanese. Just try to knock them out of the war while we be getting all of this. We can do it ourselves. We have the confidence of the ability of the Croatian military for it. And after that war, then we'll figure out how do we get the Caramanese, back together and all that. But first, Croatia. Got them all. You're on that way. We'll be taking this fort and the surrounding areas. They're gonna be trapped. We'll help you out with the siege soon, since you've got a star fort. Help them out. About to catch one. There you are, you scumbags. We've got you surrounded. It's gonna take a while to bring that down. Two years. Took a bloody river crossing and fighting in the mountains. That's what we had to do to dislodge them. Now get up there. Help them with the siege so we can knock Venice out of the war. As a wealthy Catholic nation, our contributions to the papal tithe are much appreciated in Korea, but no matter how generous our contribution, the Church continues to solicit even greater tithing. Svetoslav Mihailovich, or one of the wealthiest nobles of the court, implores the great prince to resist protest, arguing that he drains the wealth from Croatia as well as more direct from the pockets of nobility. We make fine trade here. This donation will surely save our souls. What are you gonna do with all that money? That's the real question. Development efficiency we mentioned earlier. You mean like this? Yes, development efficiency. That's what they meant. Akunulu declared war against Karakunulu. So we can develop this a lot better in future, because I like to get it up to 20. Don't spend it as much as I'd like to. So save it till the end of this year. Is out. Constance out. In there. Every little bit helps the siege. Augsburg's out. Coming soon, Venice. Once that capital's fallen. There they go. Yep, they're out. We get some of that nice money. In preparation. Knowing what we're about to get ourselves into. And which I'm sorry that if there wasn't any better way. You've joined up too. You're not. Hey, wait a minute, that means when they're busy with one of their wars that they're intervening with, unless it's one of Karaman's wars themselves, there you have it. He passed, so it's April's the next election day. He didn't even live that long. So obviously we have to go for diplomatic candidate again, because we're trying to get this as quickly as possible. And hopefully he better be a nice man. No, 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 not like that. To Malta. Secretive. Good. Pick up one more. Not as good. It's like, yeah, we may be lacking generals, but we need people. Head to there. Should be stationed in a bit, and then we'll begin our North African campaign immediately. Wow, Karaman participates in one of Akunulu's wars, so they're against Great Order Nordicus. Which are those big one here? Oh, not quite big as they once were. Russia's just really collapsed. Karamanese navy ain't much, which we can deal with them. Practically. What if you reduce the opinion of Tunis? What do you say? There it is. Just an idea. Just to say, hey, I don't like you, but... See how that registers if not. Not quite. But new debates to start. Charter Trade Company. Give me another merchant for the next 10 years. Trade power brought up. Trade range. That's what we're trying to go for. It seems the game reads my mind sometimes. It knows my intentions. Okay. Dubrovnik, Bosna, Atina, Krim. Trnovo supports us. Sure. You got it. It needs more than that, obviously. Well, I have a lot of ducats, so go for that. And ignore corruption. Slavonia with a little more autonomy. Well, you got it. And I'll finish that debate sooner than later. Since all that money's gonna go to getting rid of this corruption. Just trying to convince them so that Karamanese do not join in this conflict. They're being besieged right now. In fact, is that even all of them? For Karakurnudo? No, there's still some around. All going that way, in fact. You got a fort, right? No, you don't. Never thought I would want these guys to say, come on, take the area. That's a fort. Right. Occupied, sieged provinces. Well, if they could take more of the open areas themselves, then we'll start. If not, then guess we're gonna have to fight them on that front. Wherever the heck they are going. We can upgrade them to heavy frigates now. But we could definitely invest in that if I were to send them home right now. In fact, where are you currently? Oh, over here. Come here quickly. You got a shipyard, right? Yes, you do. We can upgrade all of them. Much more effective. Gonna hurt our income from Alexandria for a bit. Not anymore. Imperialism casus belli that we have now against all countries. That's the new one. Like, for example, if I want to fight against Spain, it's not just conquest, but so it's 75% aggressive expansion of control. That's one, for example. And you know that will have the same example against us. It's basically you versus the world mentality. Got a new, so we have new ways. 100% cost for conquest, but 75% cost reduction cost. Ah, that is a new spelling. Well, you're in that era right now, and we can assume that every single one of them, imperialism guns, all countries. So meaning if I were to say, you know, fight against them, I could do that too. Of course, it all depends on relation to things. But this is, oh, truce breaking. In some areas, even if you don't have claims, it would be better if you have claims to go along with the imperialism thing. So, imperialist war against Tunis is going to be the kind of war then. So, don't know about the skills of our troops. I can deal with the Karamanese armies. Unless their ruler is suddenly become malevolent or cruel, where they would not join. Which again, we'll continue to stall for time. And plus, we just upgraded these ships. So you got till next year, alright? Next year, you must go to Tunis. Spoils of war. This is actual income. It's over now. Full annexation. It's till 2 years you ask for money again, which they do have that kind of money. Or every 15 years. All I could say is just please don't make me do this. As stated before, every little bit helps with the provincial trade modifier. Now start saving up that administrative help accord. Cornelu calls for help even though they're still in the middle of the war. And, you know, this is the same war that Carmen is part of. Well, what happens? I mean, I'll participate, but I'm not sending anyone away. I could care less what happens up there. Ha-ha! Good one. Even though Ardabil is still not out of the war yet. And so is the Great Horde, so they can't get these gains just yet. Oh, you may want to begin preparations right now. Get on board. Alright, we don't have fleet basing rights. Sure about that. Well, in that case, you're gonna have to do an amphibious landing, which is gonna take quite a bit of time for you. Until you're in position, begin the war. Quickly. Napred, napred. Iramo. Again, this is our great chance to get as much land as possible of the whole coast. Although I wish Tunis was included, but... Stop pirating now. Get the galleys back to Malta. We'll be dealing with them soon, as far as blockades is concerned, to make things easier. And soon these light ships will be back to protect trade, as it were. Trade policy is failing. Our national trade policy isn't really delivering at the moment. Our merchant isn't just doing as well. We should grease the wheels a little more. More corruption. Always grumble about corruption. Get down there. We're there on the 16th. On the 16th, you will start. In position. Sail. Head back to Malta for safety. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I know it feels like we're gonna do this, but you gotta tune in the next episode for the Croatian North African campaign. As Spain is busy, this is our great opportunity to join us. We join Aconila's war, which we will send no forces there, but we keep a few just in case. If the Karamanese decides to join this war, despite the fact of, you know, what you're all up to and whatnot. So now with the imperialism cast as well, now in existence, well, no longer there are conquests, now it's imperialism. And we'll just see how much land we can get out of it before Spain and France or whomever is going to form a coalition against us. As well as picking another government reform on regarding the guiding principle of administration. So we hope you join us, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be our next great conquest. But until then, so long for now.